favourite of the 540 odd wickets Jamie took was late on day one of the 2000 grand final against West Torrens.
We batted first. We only scored a fairly modest total, about 212 I think it was. No, none for 40, going fairly well towards the end of the first night, and together with his old mate Johnny Palmer, pulled off a great leg side stumping, and that was the start of the deck of cards started to fall the next day. Yeah, and that was probably one of the great combinations too, I think. A good timing, the old phone. Take two.
My favourite Jamie Panelli wicket was out here at Parkinson. We played against Sturt. He was bowling against James Pike, who's probably 6'5", and I think that was his very first A-grade wicket way back when as well. Panners bounced him. So bounced Pikey, who's 6'5". Pikey's quite surprised on the front shoe and then tried to pull him and got a glove, and luckily enough I was up to the stumps and hung on to that one. So lots of great wickets for Jamie Panelli, but I'm obviously going to choose one that I'm involved in.
Yeah, Bunny for Jamie, no doubt Craig Bradbrook, and also Gary Wright.
When Righty played for one of his 6 clubs, he hit him on the pad below the knee roll every time for under 10. Righty, of course, never out, and Jamie always used to love giving him a little bit of a send-off as well. Just became a little bit of a running joke throughout the 10 years he played against him. Always very entertaining.
Tiny, skinny at school, yeah. Lanky, massive head.
Huge head, yeah, still huge head now.
Big buffon, yeah. Like Novak Djokovic. Never cared too much for the style. In fact, people used to ask him where he was from, where he got the dark skin from. He used to say, "Do you know where Barbados is?"
Of course he did.
You ever heard of the Bronx?
We've got lots of favourite memories, but one of them was a hat-trick he took against University at University when there was an umpire called John Booth who loved Kensington, and I've never seen a hat-trick of LBWs. So this was a hat-trick that, lucky to get one, unbelievable to get 2, and when the finger gets risen for 3rd LBW in 3 balls, it was pandemonium. So I think he ran down, ran the weir, a lap around the weir, and came back.
And after the game, we tried to get Boothie to pose with Panners, giving it the signal of arm around him, but Boothie thought probably it'd be a bad look for an umpire.
Oh, that's right. A couple of things about Jamie, which probably not in the stereotypical Kenzie fashion. He was not a great tubber and not a great drinker either. He was, I mean, the drinking part was okay. That worked well for me because we normally travelled together on the away games. So I usually drove to cricket and Jamie drove home. So that was a good arrangement. One I was pretty happy to stick with for 10 years.
Sticks, I'm not sure if a lot of people know about this, but Sticks came from way back when he was a drummer in a band. And the band was called Undertone. It didn't create much of a buzz in the Triple J Top 100. So he was a very poor drummer. Didn't have a lot of rhythm, which is unique for a dark African American man.
So Panner's great skill, Brownie, aside from his cricket skill, I think he agrees, making up stories.
Yeah, we talk about some of the youngsters putting a bit of mayo on their stories, but Panners can literally make a story up from scratch and just have no truth in it whatsoever and make you believe it, I reckon.
Yeah, even if it's about you and it's not true, he'll make you believe it. Because he'll say, like, what was that bird's name?
Yeah.
And he's making up a complete and utter made-up story. He's an absolute genius at it. The guy's got a real talent. Probably wasted his talent playing cricket, actually.
Yeah.
We were playing at Campbelltown Oval. Finished the game, everyone sort of heading off, and Jamie stole Curtis's thongs and stashed them away, and Curtis he knew someone had stolen them, was getting angrier and angrier, and Panners just stayed quiet, but no one owned up. No one suspected him, of course. And then we've come back the next week in the room, still no one had owned up, and Panners very quietly slipped the thongs into Schwerty's bag. And Curtis spotted them in there. What are you doing, Schwerty? Schwerty trying to claim he was innocent. Curtis didn't buy it at all. It was all Panners all along.
I remember Jamie was sort of bowled his regulation 45 overs on a 45-degree hot day, and was looking forward to the ice bath, which was sitting right in the corner there next to the showers. Morgs took it upon himself to just maybe top up the ice bath with a couple of ingredients that weren't quite in the mix, which Jamie wasn't aware of until he got in there after everyone had a shower and complained of a bit of a stench of asparagus, I think was the call, and of course there wasn't too many asparagus spears around at that stage. But
so post game we often ventured to the Norwood Hotel, myself, Jamie and Creaky, and there was one time where I think Creaky got himself into a bit of an altercation with some players from Richmond Clarence Park, which I'm not sure where that is, but obviously a great club with lots of history. So there was some banter and I think there was some push and shove, and Panners was still in his turtleneck and his leather pants on the dance floor cutting some shapes while I was trying to help out Creaky. And eventually I think it spilled out into the alleyway, which is just on the side outside the Norwood Hotel. And from memory now, I think there were 20 of them, and Creaky and I, just back to back, ready to go. And then, similar to the Karate Kid, out of the darkness, black turtleneck, black leather pants, I just saw these two arms just raise up out from behind us like this, and Creaky and I were back to back, and the crowd, the Richard Clarence Park guys, just started to back off. We thought we had him, but all of a sudden we looked around and there's Panners in the crane technique, just like Mr. Miyagi, ready to have a go at 20 blokes. So I guess all that means is he still loves his turtleneck. That's what it probably means. But he's always got your back, and in whatever situation he can appear from nowhere and get the job done. So from my point of view, that was a lasting memory that he couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag, but that crane technique is going to scare a few people, I reckon. What it was like to play with Panners was just an honour. It really was. There's not many players that play so hard and have as much fun as Jamie. So there's the yin and the yang with Panners. So, and I was lucky enough to play cricket right through. So the under 17s through the Ds and the Cs and the Bs, and I got to play a grade before him, which is pretty fair. So we eventually caught up again in the A's and had a fantastic partnership. So for him, I don't think there's anyone that loves this club more than Jamie. I don't think there's anyone that I would like to have in the change rooms as much as Jamie. And I wouldn't have anyone else have the ball in their hand if we needed a wicket on the day, or if we needed those 10 runs at the end of the day. I'd give that back to Jamie Panelli any day of the week.
Just personally, it was really fantastic for me when I started playing A-grade cricket that Jamie was there. He coached me in the under-17s sort of a few years before that, and it's sort of a difficult jump. All of a sudden you're playing A-grade cricket, and there's sort of guys like Greg Blewett on our team, and there's sort of Darren Lehman playing against us, and it's quite an intimidating environment. Sort of don't know the people in the team all that well, but Jamie sort of would always go out of his way to welcome you and to involve you in the chat and to pair up with you in the warm-up and all those sort of little bits and pieces that made you feel part of the team straight away. So you never sort of felt like an outsider, and he's done that sort of all the way through for all the new players who are up there.
Jamie, a great legacy that Jamie will leave, aside from his wickets and his runs and whatever he's done for the club, is that mateship, the camaraderie that he brings, and the passion that he has for the club, and also his teammates. So yeah, it's one thing that all the young players will learn from him, and that he'll leave behind after he's gone.
Yeah, well, I don't have to say too much bad about Jamie because you can't really. He was a great competitor, great team man, and he'll go down as one of the greats of Kenzie, I would have thought, for years to come. So well done, mate, and we'll have a beer with you later.